Welcome, dreamer. I'm Boomandine, and this is the Gentle Flow. I'm glad you're here. Let's begin. Oh man, we might have to have a whole episode devoted to this one. Because look, you do the right thing by putting in details. I'll try to keep this short. Was the first of two, was rooming with people in an apartment. I had to move out. Got help from a friend. I need to get some water. I had to get help from a friend. We all went to dinner and I sat next to the friend that helped me. Somehow ended up in a wheelchair afterward and asked the same friend if we could go back to my old apartment for a look. He reluctantly obliged. We got scolded by the apartment manager. Friend was mad, yelled at me, went home to a nearby apartment. I returned home alone and thought of ways to make things better. That's the first part. And now it's time for the second part. This whole time I didn't have my binaural stereo setup turned on. Now we got it. Now you should be able to hear it in both ears. V, what's up? The second part. People were being brainwashed. I ran away. Bumped into the school bully. Scary dude. And thought it was a shakedown. We fought, but I continued to run. Was cornered by the brainwashing bad guys and made a deal with them. If I won a swimming marathon, then I could go free. If I lost, I'd have to join. As I swam, I could hear people say that I was swimming wrong for a marathon race. Swimming wrong for a marathon race. I didn't care. I just wanted to get to the finish line as fast as possible. And I did. But the person that was on the platform was brainwashed and had no plan on calling my win. Dirty bastards. Fucking dirty bastards. As I swam around, beating on their platform and yelling at them, a golden light hit close to me in the water, and golden light bullets hit the water. It was an attack from my swim rifle, and I knew I was in danger as they got closer. So I tried to swim away, but a wave pushed me against the walkway. The bully and the old lady that trained him were followed by an entire army. Arrived. She announced the bully who planned on, quote, bashing some skulls in, like she previously did with people in his life. I was relieved, but then I woke up. Alright, let's see here. Let's get to this. Well, first we'll talk about this first dream. I was was rooming with people in the apartment, had to move out. We all went for dinner and sat next to the friend that helped, but somehow ended up in a wheelchair afterwards. The wheelchair is your mind trying to reconcile the fact that you couldn't move your legs in the dream, which is common. It's common to, your brain shuts down the motor functions of your appendages so that you don't flail around and try to run around in your sleep while you're dreaming. So sometimes that manifests in the dream as your legs being somehow paralyzed, or you can't move when you're running, or maybe your legs are trapped in cement, or in this case a wheelchair. It could also mean a feeling of, metaphorically, it could be a metaphor for you feeling restricted in your life. You feel that you want to have the freedom to move. You want to have autonomy, but there are people, there are forces, there's some sort of condition beyond your control, or at least to your perception, beyond, at least you perceive it as being beyond your control. Something restricting you from moving, right? Restricting you from having some sort of freedom. Similar to a dream of being imprisoned, but in this case it's not that you're being imprisoned, it's just there's a particular thing, an aspect of yourself that cannot move forward, that cannot, operate the way you want to operate. But I think the more likely thing is that being in a wheelchair manifests because you couldn't move your legs while you're sleeping, which is a good thing. Next. Come back. You ask to go back to your old apartment for a look. He was reluctant, but he obliged. We got scolded by the apartment manager. The friend was mad, yelled at me, and went home to a nearby apartment. I returned home alone and thought of ways to make things better. Do you often have people in your life, and this is mostly a rhetorical question, do you have people in your life that no matter what you do, you can never make them happy? You feel like you're doing the right thing, or you're just your effort, your request for your friend to go back to the old apartment for a look, they seemed reluctant. It seemed like it was an inconvenience. You were inconveniencing them, and I think you worry about inconveniencing other people. And I would like to say to you that your existence is not an inconvenience to anyone that matters, because you matter. I say that, and I say it that way because I've had that same feeling. I've had similar dreams. Try to explain yourself to someone, or you try to you say, make things better, as you describe here. Or you try to just make a simple request. I want to go back to the old apartment. I know we were moving, but I need to go back there and just look at it, just real quick. The apartment manager was mad, your friend was upset, y'all got into a fight, right? Or, everybody was mad at you, and you were trying to think of ways to make things better. If people are upset, that's the way they feel. And it's not your job to try to make them feel better, or not be upset, or not be mad. That's not your job. And you couldn't control their feelings even if you wanted to. Isn't it interesting? You also can't control your own feelings. None of us can. We can help mold our attitudes and maybe where our feelings and emotions go after we have them, but whenever you have thoughts that come into your head or emotions, you can't help that they're there. They just are. That's just how it goes. And if someone is mad at you for making a simple request or just being yourself, it sucks to be them because that's an unhappy existence. I recommend investing your time in people that are willing to invest their time in you, in your interests, and appreciate you. Okay, so that's that. Okay, the second thing about being brainwashed. I think you are very well aware, and I think this is, it makes sense that you're having this dream. Because it is ridiculous that people will not recognize your greatness. And you are great. You won this race, didn't you? But they didn't want to acknowledge it. They didn't want to acknowledge it. Just like I am not really acknowledging chat right now. I'm mostly just paying attention to this snipping of these extra threads and doing your dream analysis. I'm not really reading chat. Let me take a look here and see what y'all are saying. Okay, Manamov says, I took it as, you know you shouldn't be going back to this place. Anger from the friend. Protectiveness. But yeah, I've had people like that in my life that would say I was an inconvenience. Yeah, it freaking sucks, right? It sucks for them, because you're always going to have people like that. And it's not your fault that they don't understand you. It's your problem, but it's not your fault. And yeah, it is your problem. You have to deal with people like that in your life that don't understand you. You shouldn't have to do things to make someone else's life easier. You know, just like, look, you do your best. You explain your emotions and feelings and your intentions. And, you know, sometimes your reasonings for wanting to do things, but you shouldn't have to, if somebody gets mad at you for just being yourself, right? Or making a simple request, like in this case. I don't know. See if you want some unsolicited advice. I would recommend to invest in people that spend their time investing in you. Bear with me, I'm going to get the threads off of this that I cut. So, and the people that don't care enough to actually have the patience to understand you, I think they don't deserve your attention. You would be well within your right, and well within what's healthier for you to focus your attention on people that acknowledge you and they appreciate you, you know? You deserve to have people that appreciate you. And that's really my interpretation of the brainwashing people and the swimming the marathon. If you notice, you made a deal with them, right? You said, what is it? If I won the swimming marathon, I could go free. And you're like, bet. But if you lost, you would have to join their whatever, their brainwashing. You would have to join their cult or, whatever, organization they are in. But you swam and you did your best. You did your best in life, and there are still people on the sidelines, like yelling or talking or just like, oh, I can't believe they're not doing this person's not doing the swim the right way for a marathon. Oh, they're doing it the wrong way. And you're like, man, I'm just doing it the only way I know how. And you just described life for everyone. At least the part about we're just doing what we know how to do. And there's also always going to be people that have a criticism of the way you do things, or whether or not you are doing things the way that it was meant to be done, or tradition, or whatever. Well, guess what, Buttercup? You're not living my life, so don't tell me how to freaking do it. I got this covered. You just freaking keep your opinions to yourself about how, whether or not you think I'm doing it. Now, if they have some valid feedback, that's completely different, right? You ever have someone that tells you, oh, I can't believe you're doing it that way. That's that's just wrong. And you're like, please then, friend, enlighten me. Tell me how I'm supposed to do it right. And they're like, oh, and they're like, oh, okay. So you're gonna complain about the way I'm doing it, but you're not gonna actually tell me what the right way is. Frustrating. And I can tell that you experience that, and that you feel a particular frustration with people like that in your life. That's exactly what, I mean, even recently for me, like within the past like half a year or so, I've had to like remind myself of things that I know, which is like, if someone else doesn't understand you, or they aren't going to actually provide helpful feedback about how to fix whatever they think you're doing wrong, and they're just going to, like, for instance, you ever have people that, like, they say, you know what, I don't like the way you are talking to me or doing this, so I'm gonna, and they cut themselves out of your life. It could be an important family member, or like friend, or like somebody who was important to you, that you had a friendship with them, or you have a close relationship with, a family relationship with them. And they're just like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. But they don't tell you what you did wrong. They just say, oh, they'll just say that you're just being rude, or you're just being toxic. I fucking hate that word. Toxic. It's so fucking, like, non-specific. Anyway, it's not helpful. They're like, okay, well, they're not telling you what you want to do to fix it, what the right way is. They're like, oh, you should know the right way to swim for a marathon, right? You're doing just fine. Fuck those people, alright? Anyway, the person that was on the platform was also brainwashed. So in other words, the standard that you're being told, now this could be at work. Maybe your boss is telling you, alright, you need to meet this, you need to improve your standard, or whatever, you need to improve your work performance. And you say, okay, what level do you want me to achieve? And by what, how are you measuring that? And also, please let me know what I need to do, and I'll do it. But they won't even tell you what the level, what the standard is that they want. They just have an imaginary thing in their mind. And this brainwashed person on the platform is the same way. they've done here is not only did they not acknowledge that you met the standard that they set forth, that they communicated to you, they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Now this has happened to you recently, or you fear that this will happen, but probably both. Probably there's a looming, impending, like there's some sort of pending decision or something in your life that you're not sure if the decision is going to be right to their standard. You described that you swam around beating on their platform that they were on, yelling at them, and then the golden light hit close to me, right? The competitor was shooting golden light like bullets at the water. Some people would say that like the golden color has a particular meaning, like it means like royalty or wealth or like prestige or like arrogance or something like that. But really it's whatever it means to you. Like I think for you, gold might have a specific meaning, or it just might mean powerfulness. It just might mean, oh, they're shooting some stuff at me. Oh, thank you, Bronco Yay. Bronco J? Or is it Bronco Yay like a... No, Bronco J. It's like a brother, uncle. Bronco J. Like Grunkle Stan from that freaking cartoon, what's it called? Weirdly enough, okay, Manamov, the dreamer who wrote this, says, weirdly enough, yeah, a lot of that stuff happened at my old workplace right before I quit. And I told myself I would never go back. Never go back. I've been worried that I might have to decide to go back to a similar workplace. Yeah. There's something that, you hear often in like affirmations. That today is like the first day of the rest of your life. It's never too early nor too late for a fresh start. Each day can be a fresh start. Each night can be a fresh start. Okay. I'm not sure what the golden light bullets would mean other than just like you don't want them to touch you, right? Because in like movies and video games and stuff, when they're shooting bullets at you, you see that tracer bullet, which is like every 5 rounds on like a machine gun, the bullet will come out in a glowing, right? And then they do that so that the gunner can see where they're shooting, but in movies they do that because it's like cool looking or whatever, and I think that's what this might mean, right? I knew I was in danger, and they got closer. Yeah, I tried to swim away, but a wave pushed me against the walkway. So you feel like your attempts are futile at not only can you not do the right thing according to some other person's standard, another person whose judgment is flawed. By the way, I just want you to know that whoever this person is, their judgment is flawed. Okay. They must either, and if this person is listening, they're probably not, but I wish they would know, people like them would know, that if they are going to get unhappy about you, about a standard that you haven't achieved, they need to explain what that standard is. They need to say what you need to achieve for them to be happy. If you, sell this number of cars in a month, that's what you need to do. If you sell this many, then you are that much better. Like, and if you sell this amount, like, this is the range. Like, the more, whatever your job was, right? So not only they're not explaining correctly, they don't have a proper analysis. Like, their perception is flawed about your behavior, why you're behaving a certain way, or the performance level, or whatever social response they are expecting from you. It's like you're not speaking the same language, or it's like they're brainwashed. Yeah. Anyway, and then you try to swim away, but a wave smashes you against the walkway, and that freaking sucks. To do everything you can, and then once you're down, you get kicked, not by a particular person, but just by life itself. That sucks. The bully and an old lady that trained him were followed by an entire army arrived. She announced that the bully, who planned on bashing some skulls in, like he previously did with people in his life. She announced the bully. She announced the bully and an old lady that trained him were followed by an entire army. Mr. Mixelplick, hello, and how are you? Bro, it took me forever to respond. Hello. Yes, it's Brunkle. Is a nickname I got from my nephews. We grew up together, so they called me Brunkle J, because I was their uncle, but we are close in age. I was like a brother. That's what's up, dude. Okay. So you say, Manilov, that you were relieved? Did you feel relieved? Because I'm confused. Are you saying that the old lady, she announced the bully who planned on bashing in some skulls, like he previously did with people in his life? What do you mean by she announced him? Like she announced that he was arriving, or she announced that she was followed by an entire army? Or were you saying that she and the bully were like, an entire army like attacked them in like, and you were relieved that they got, attacked in response, Okay. Oh, Gentle Fox ASMR. Either way, I think that, you say she announced his arrival, and that their entire army was there to fight the brainwashed people. Oh, the bully. Oh, to fight the brainwashed people. Okay. So real quick, let me just acknowledge Gentle Fox ASMR. Good to see you, my dear friend. Titanium is here too. What's up? Yeah, my shirt is like a shade of green, kind of. You can pinch me anyway if you want. If you dare. Okay, let's look for them. Okay. So yeah, it would be awesome if that happened. So I think a lot of times in our dreams, the terrible thing that we don't want to happen happens. And other times, we get rescued, or something good happens. And either way, we have a fear of the bad thing happening, and that's what we're feeling in our waking life, so it manifests this way in the dream. And we also have a hope and aspiration that somebody will come and help us, or whatever, right? And that's manifesting in the dream too. And that's my analysis of this dream. I hope that helped, and I'm glad that some of that resonated with you. Thank you for sharing that with us.